Hey guys, Pieguyrulz here, and welcome back to another Adventure Time TV log. So tonight's episode, I wasn't feeling it. Maybe 5 minutes in, if that, I was just kinda not really enthralled with the whole concept. I didn't find anything in the episode to be funny, and as far as heartwarming or sweet or anything like that, I mean, I don't know, I could see the story they were trying to tell, but I don't think they executed it as well as most Adventure Time episodes do. Thinking back to, what is it, Thank You? What that old, from seasons ago, the episode with the Firefox and the Snowman, you know, that was an episode that, like this, was told through not much, dialogue and was more about just kind of telling the story of one creature trying to help another creature out, and that sort of thing. And I think that episode was really just magnificent. But this episode, I found myself just kind of bored. I wasn't really attached to any of the characters. I wasn't attached to the squirrel either. You know, there really wasn't anything that made me sympathetic for the squirrel, aside from the fact that I guess it was being held captive. There wasn't anything that made me really feel sympathetic for Jake's tail. I mean, okay, he's in a circus and he wants to free a squirrel. Alright, that's a story, I guess, and it's kind of sweet, but it doesn't really do much for me. I don't think there were really any jokes to be told. So, yeah, and I mean, for all purposes, this is really an episode about a character we've never met yet. I mean, it's Jake's tail, yes, but Jake's tail isn't Jake. It doesn't act like Jake. So it's yet another episode about another character that they're just introducing to us. I'm kind of sick of them. I want more episodes with Finn and Jake. What can we have, a 5-episode stretch of Finn and Jake episodes? That seems to be something that since the middle of season 5 they just can't do anymore. It's got to be, you know, Finn and Jake episode, Finn and Jake episode, Finn and Jake episode, weird side character episode. You know, you can't go 3 episodes. You can't shake a stick without running into one of these side character episodes. And they've had varying success, and I applaud them for trying different things, but, I mean, this is their take on the circus, and I don't know, are they trying to be parodying A Bug's Life? Because isn't that what A Bug's Life was? It was a traveling circus of bugs. So, and there's not any reference to that, it's just this very similar concept. I mean, the tail stretching kind of reminded me of this one episode of Cat Dog. Yeah, and actually, speaking of the logistics of all of it, it doesn't really even make any sense, because Jake's tail doesn't have Jake's ears, doesn't have Jake's eyes, doesn't have Jake's nose, doesn't have Jake's anything. So how can it move? How can it, I mean, you know, obviously, if you're going to be like that, I guess, how could it even think without a brain, you know? It would have made more sense, I guess, if, Jake's ears had followed it, you know, shrunk down and followed it, or, his eyes, but, he was, sleepwalking or something like that. That would make somewhat sense, but, you know, I get it, it's a cartoon, you know, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It stacks on top of all the other reasons why I don't think the episode was funny, I don't think the episode was particularly touching, and I think, you know, we've kind of seen stories like this done a lot better, you know, the typical whole Carney, you know, Carney's holding an animal captive, that's a story that's been done. I mean, Avatar did it with Appa, you know, in Appa's Lost Days, there was a section of that where he was trapped as a circus animal and abused, you know, we've seen this story. It's very odd that Adventure Time would go through a story that we've seen before. Most Adventure Time stories don't do that, they don't go with stock cartoon plots. Not that I'm saying this is something that you see a million times, but I've seen it before. I have seen it before. And, you know, and I'm sure that's not the only case either. I don't know. It's a rehash plot with a new character that doesn't really make any sense, and none of the jokes are funny, and it's also, like I said, it's not silent. There are characters who talk, but our main character here does not talk. And that provides you know, if you're going to do something like that, it has to be engaging, and I don't feel like it was. And it's just very sad coming off of a really awesome episode like The Tower that kind of really nailed subtlety to this one that just, I don't know, I just don't think it worked at all. And again, maybe I'm just burnt out on all these side character episodes, but I really feel like this episode failed in a lot of ways. Pieguyrulz, out.